Hi everyone, and welcome to Module 10, which is Chapter 12. So Chapter 12 focuses on the subfield of psychology called developmental psychology. Just as a reminder, this module is due at 8 p.m. on November 1st. So similar to every other week, what I would recommend doing is start with your Revel reading, and you'll see that we're kind of back to our old school ways of doing an entire chapter. So I know we've been focusing on partial chapters the last couple weeks, so I appreciate your patience as we kind of piece together some different sections to make sure we kind of do a full coverage of all the areas that we need to get through. But the nice thing is this week we're back to just talking about one chapter, so we'll be covering all of the subsections of Chapter 12. So once you do your Revel reading and do your Revel quiz, the next thing I would recommend is do your first posting for the discussion board. So this week I'm asking you to think about gender development. I would recommend doing your Revel reading first, just so that you kind of have an idea of what gender typing is or what the concepts are that we're covering related to gender development. But it's pretty basic. I'm basically asking you to think about how we're socialized in terms of our gender. So thinking about what type of gender typing experiences you had when you were a child and how you think it impacted your gender development. So make sure you get started early during the week, do your first post so that you can check back in later in the week and maybe comment on somebody else's post or maybe answer a question if somebody asked you a question about your ideas. So once you do your discussion board, the next thing would be to probably start to look at the PowerPoint slides. The PowerPoint slides are posted here, and I broke it into 3 videos, so a little bit shorter than normal. And so make sure you take a look at that, because I try to give you a few different examples and kind of highlight some of the kind of commentary that I see in terms of how it relates to maybe other areas of psychology or some of the other concepts we've talked about. So make sure you look at those PowerPoint videos. And then once you've done that, I would go ahead and do the class assignment. And in this one, I'm asking you to look at these questions. So asking you to think about this actual situation where a 15-year-old boy crashed a plane into a building and thinking about how this relates to typical adolescent behaviors like the textbook talks about. Talking a little bit more about gender development. And then this last one asks you to critique Piaget's theory. So I think you're going to be better off doing the class assignment after you read both Revel and look at the PowerPoint videos. I think, these questions maybe are a little bit more critical thinking based than some of the other assignment activities that I've had you do in the past. So make sure you, feel like you're prepared to do it before you open that activity and get going. Because I really want to see you all put some thought into your responses. I know it's tempting just to type something and submit it, look at the correct answers, but just asking you to kind of engage a little bit more in the thought process and thinking through how the material you learn in the textbook might apply to the questions I ask. At that point, kind of midweek, it'd be good to check back in on the discussion board, as I said, and then the timed quiz, which just is our normal thing, 10 questions, 15 minutes, and it's all related to Chapter 12. So again, the due date for all this is November 1st. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope everybody's doing well.